Well, joining us now to have a look at the political reaction to all of this and what's happening on the international front, our political correspondent Katherine Forster. Katherine?
Yes, good morning, Eamon and Isabel. Well, it's a moment that has really brought people across the United Kingdom and indeed the world together, political leaders from all over the world expressing their support last night for King Charles following this diagnosis. Most notably, of course, President Biden. He was caught on camera and he said, "I'm concerned about him. I just heard about his diagnosis. I'll be talking to him, God willing." He later tweeted saying just how difficult he understands that dealing with cancer is. He has a personal involvement because his wife Jill had cancerous skin lesions removed just last year, and one of his sons died tragically of brain cancer a few years ago. So this is something that President Biden really does know and understand very deeply. Messages too from across the Commonwealth, including Anthony Albanese from Australia, saying His Majesty King Charles has always reached out to us in our country's toughest moments, showing kindness and doing the right thing at tough decisions. All of us are thinking of him and his family at this very hard time. We wish him well for a speedy recovery. Worth saying, of course, he believes that Australia should be a republic, but all those sorts of issues are forgotten, aren't they, at a time like this? I think also worth having a quick look at the response across the United Kingdom. Both Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer, of course, wishing him well and hoping for a speedy recovery. But I think too interesting the response of the leaders of the devolved nations, including Humza Yousaf of the Scottish National Party up in Scotland, and Michelle O'Neill, the very new Northern Irish First Minister. Of course, she wants a united Ireland, but both expressing their support and their good wishes. Michelle O'Neill, of course, also went to the King's coronation, something which would have been unthinkable just a few years earlier, with those connections going back between Sinn Féin and the IRA. But all of these issues forgotten at a time like this, everybody really united, wishing the King well. Worth saying too, of course, that although he won't be doing any of his public engagements, he is expected to be continuing with his parliamentary work, the red box of papers that the monarch is sent, signing off on bills, etc. A lot of work that the monarch has to do constitutionally, which will still be continuing. And of course, those weekly audiences with the Prime Minister in person, they hope, but if necessary, of course, that may be done by Zoom.
Katherine, thank you very much indeed.